I call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of Borough of River Edge for November 13th, 2023, regular meeting. I ask for a moment of silent prayer for those who are dying and those who are suffering in the Middle East, and especially for all those who are seeking to find some sort of resolution. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on January 9th of this location, date, and time to the Town News and the Record, and by posting the same in the municipal bulletin board and most municipal bulletin board and the borough website, and filing notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Kanigo?
Present.
Council President Kaufman?
Here.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kinsella?
Here.
Councilwoman Malalari?
Here.
Councilman Benson?
Here.
Mayor Papaleo?
Here. Okay, now, so our first order of business is a presentation. The Historic Commission follow-up for QR codes on the street, and that will lead us perhaps to a authorizing Historic Preservation Commission QR code project, which would become a resolution. Eric, and who else is here for this? Just you, Eric?
I am. I'm not supposed to be the only one here, but I'm trying to reach out to Jim. He's the technical person. I'm giving
Eric,
support to it.
how about this? How about this? I move on to
He's
something
joining.
else.
He's joining right now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm here. Sorry.
No worries. So we are at the Historic Commission, the follow-up for QR codes on the streets. So it's Eric and James. Eric and James, would you please just state your names and addresses for the record, and then you can begin.
I'll go first. Eric Modell, 178 Bogart Road in River Edge.
Jim Hookstraight, 402 Windsor Road in River Edge.
All right, gentlemen, you have the floor.
Okay, so I guess what I have to share is we revised the decal, I guess you could say. So can I, do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me see here. All right, share screen. I think I can just do this. All right, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I did. I put in, there's the QR code, River Edge Historical Commission, our logo, the town's logo, I mean, and for instance, Bogart Road. Left it square, figuring it's going to be a lot easier to get decals in a square like this, as opposed to making it elongated, which I know you guys are talking about. I mean, subtle, we could still make changes, but thoughts on what we have here.
Well, I don't know
How does
about
this work?
the council, but yeah, I think it needs to be rectangular, and it needs to follow the same orientation at Bogart Road, so that it can be placed on poles.
Oh, this will work on a pole.
But it will wrap around, so it will not be as visible to the people in the sidewalks. But that's just my feeling. I don't know where the rest of the council is. A member of council like to comment on the current rendering? Oh, Councilman Barry, you have Ann Dodd listed.
Oh, Michelle was going to update that. Sorry, Michelle, I think I dropped out and had to log back in.
Oh, okay. I'll fix it.
Mayor, I think though, if we're putting it on poles, rectangle means that it's like going to go like all the way around and wrap around on itself, right? Because we're going to be putting it on like the circular pole. So I'm thinking more truncated probably would be better, just to see how it looks.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too. Anybody else?
I'd agree, Mayor. I think this rendition is good and we can just revise it if it doesn't work.
No, I was saying something different and Barry was saying something different. I was saying
Oh.
recommendation is not good, that it needs to be more rectangular than square. So you're disagreeing, which is fine. You can-
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Barry.
Barry, were you agreeing that the square version was better?
Yes, yes.
Then it was me who misunderstood.
Unless, Mayor, you're thinking rectangular and it would be like on some kind of plaque or something, or you.
So I'm thinking rectangular, meaning it would be like this, not square, so it would not be, I'm trying to, okay. So, so I'm thinking that it would look better, and I don't know if this will show up because sometimes it doesn't. When
Yeah,
I,
just like this instead
Yes.
of like this, right? Like
Yes.
this.
that's it.
Yeah, I would agree for visibility and you can read Boger Road better that way.
You know,
I think.
I've seen this type of sticker in polls. I think this would work fine, but if everybody prefers a rectangular one, I think that would work fine too. But as far as what I see in front of me, I think that's perfectly adequate.
It wouldn't be a big deal at all to make it elongated. My only concern is, and I don't know about cost of stickers. I don't know if it's more expensive or it's harder to get a rectangular longer one than it is to buy a square one. That's something we still have to kind of figure out, but it would be very simple. It would take me 10 minutes to make this similar,
Why
but
don't why don't you get
elongated.
a price and come back?
And before you just get a price, you should consider that it's probably not just a regular sticker that you're looking at, because regular stickers will wear out because of weather very quickly. You need
Mike Ginch he's done all the research part on
Okay.
that. And I know the weather is certainly a consideration that they've taken into account.
All right,
I
why
mean-
don't you, Councilman Benson.
No, that's okay. I'm okay with this configuration, but let's see what the council says.
Well, I think I think we need to, I would like to see another version that's elongated. And I think that the council and I would like to know what the price difference is.
Okay,
I mean, if the price difference is $75, that's not a big deal. If the price difference is $750, well, that would be a big deal.
Eric, are you still there?
I'm here.
Do
Yes.
do you recall? I don't, what Mike had researched as far as prices and that sort of thing goes?
I don't remember. I don't think the cost difference was significant, but I don't have particular numbers.
Okay, we'll have to find that out.
No.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to present at this point?
I had nothing else. Eric, did you?
Nothing here.
It doesn't seem to me that we're ready to move forward with the authorization, but maybe the council feels different. Lizette, do you want to weigh in on where you think you think we should go at this point?
I think for the sake of time, if it's approved and if the cost is minimal, since I have access to the HPC budget, if it's minimal, we could just go ahead with the order.
Okay.
Was there any, I know when we met the last time that there were going to look into any safety concerns with that, I don't remember. I think Chief Walker had brought that up. I don't know. Were there any, or are we good to go with any of the other concerns?
So, just a couple of things. One, Jim, if it could be periodically checked, just to make sure that somebody doesn't put a scan over our scan. As deviant as that sounds, then the kids will be scanning something that could be really inappropriate.
So like a once a month, just walk around town and see what.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
doubt it, but I can't help but
No.
think deviant sometimes.
In this day and age, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and then, there is the concern, I don't know that we have to worry about this, but I guess if we do see it, then we may have to readdress this, which is, if it's given out as a school project, which would be awesome, but if we have all of a sudden 10 kids congregating around a street sign there and they're not paying attention and in the roadway, that could be a problem. I guess we can keep an eye on it and see if that becomes an issue, and then we have to revisit, if we can, allow them to not realize they're getting that close to the roadway. Other than that, you just can't put it on the sign itself, which wouldn't make sense because you'd have to be 10 foot tall to scan. Well, I guess you
Right.
could scan it from low, but you know what I mean?
Yep,
Gotta be
no,
on the pole.
only the pole, yep.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's one of the reasons I think it should be elongated, because if it's elongated, it would only face in one direction towards the sidewalk, and therefore there would be no walking around the pole. But that's neither here nor there. I think if the council is interested, we could move forward with the authorization. Is the council interested?
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Lizette, would it now go, are we now adding to tonight's resolutions, or was that an approval that you can accept?
We need to add the resolution to the consent agenda.
Okay, so it would now be 23 what?
Be 23, 310, and then the bill list would be 23, 311.
Okay, I'm writing that down right now, three. And the bill list, and Michelle, would you also write down 23, 311, because she'll be reading the
Mhm.
bill list in. Okay, so this will be the so 23, 310 is now the Historic Commission. Right. All right, Eric and James, thank you for coming. That was efficient.
So do we need to come back then and show you the longer one? What?
I would like you to, but you don't need to. I mean, you can move forward with it, but it would be good to come back and let the council see what you're doing and how much, and it's going to cost us.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back. We'll talk, with Barry and arrange a time when, we have more information to report.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Hold on one second. I just realized putting it on the poll doesn't involve just the police, it involves the DPW. Has the DPW been kept in the loop so that they know that this is not something they should scrape off when they see it?
They know of it conceptually, but I could let the superintendent know once it's been approved that this is an authorized sticker.
Okay, sounds good.
And we still haven't ordered the stickers yet, so it's not like they're gonna go up tomorrow. I would hope for the holidays, before, the end of the calendar year. And, at that point, then we can let you guys know that they're up.
Good, and I assume, since you talked about school things, that you've been in contact with the superintendent about this, and
Sure.
and that they're
Oh, actually, have we? Eric, have we been? I don't think so. Have we been? Have we?
No,
even-
I was intending to be in touch with them about another matter, so I'll just add this on. In fact, I'll call tomorrow. So.
because part of your justification was that it could be used for students, and we would want to know that the Board of Education and superintendent agree that this would be something they could make use of, and that they feel would be a safe project for the kids.
Okay.
All right. So gentlemen, thank you for coming. And we're going to let you go right now, and we're going to move on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have for discussion, we have score update. Who will be addressing that?
I can.
Councilman Benson, go ahead.
So last time I was on, I was telling the council about how we were looking at some other venues for SCORE. However, I just want to give an update. I think we're going to also now just go back to the temple. They've been, real helpful and stuff. We're going to go back to the temple and see if we can kind of renegotiate the contract we had last time, because we're using kind of less space and not as many days. So we're still looking for a venue, but we're going to try to kind of readdress with the temple. So
when you say we, Councilman, who do you mean as we?
Well, I was thinking of of me and Joe and Lisette, but Lisette is going to approach the temple.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, I did. One of the things that we are facing in SCORE is Henry and Carol are going to be retiring at the end of the year. So we do need someone to take over the running of the program. And I had talked to Lisette and Joe, and we did budget for a part-time rec person to support Joe. And I think it would be very helpful if we can get that part-time person starting as soon as possible in 2024. And one of their first things would be the handoff of the SCORE program so they can run it. Henry and Carol are going to stay a part of the SCORE program, so they'll be there to fill that person in and coach them. But I just wanted to see, I think Lisette, you had mentioned we need to kind of move that forward and get it budgeted and stuff, get them
Yes.
on.
Yes, we had it in this year's budget, but it was removed because we didn't have a director for a certain amount of time. And we wanted to make sure the director was in place first before moving forward with an assistant. And the thing is, if we wait until the budget is adopted, we're looking at April, May, that we don't have anybody running SCORE. And we've reached out to the group to see if there were any volunteers who would take over the program, and no one who was a resident was able to provide that commitment. Joe had asked around our other volunteers, and some were able to pitch in every now and then, but this program needs consistent, verifying, following up, since it's a weekly program. And, the seniors need somebody who's accountable and reliable.
Yeah.
And if the governing body approves that, I mean, right now it's November 13th. By the time somebody's hired, it won't be until the person won't start until January anyway.
So I guess what you're looking for right now is a motion from one member of council to hire, and you're saying that there is money in the budget for January.
No, we would have to put it in the budget for January. I would have to tell the CFO this position will be funded starting January 1st. We had it in this year's budget,
And we
but it
removed it.
was removed
Yeah.
because the department was still in flux.
So open for discussion. Does the council, how does the council feel about this before we ask for a motion? Councilwoman Kinsella.
The part-time person would not just be for SCORE, it would be to assist Joe in our rec director with all of the activities, not just simply a person to handle all SCORE matters, correct?
Correct. The majority of the work would be SCORE. It's only a part-time position, and then anything else would be helping with, whether it's with cultural affairs or setting up events, planning, and helping to expand our programs.
Is there a set amount of hours that we're going to ask for?
Part-time is 29 hours.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from council? Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen.
Deciding what just for thinking about the budget next year, what are we looking into? What are same cost analysis that we did for this year, or what would that be like for budget purposes?
Impact of this position, I could ask the CFO. I mean, it would be a $40,000 position. I mean, I have right now a current up-to-date expenditures and revenues. I could ask the CFO for a more updated version to distribute to the council to see where we are. We are doing well with revenues, especially with the extra program, like the film permit. We don't have any transfers yet. It looks like that we won't have too many transfers this year. Our budget is pretty consistent with our estimates.
Thank you.
Any other member of council wish to enter into debate, discussion, or ask questions? Is the council at this time interested in moving a motion, or does the council wish to wait? Silence would be the council wishes to wait. Councilwoman Kaufman.
I'd like to make a motion to move forward. I think we need to do this. Joe has said, I believe, that he doesn't have the bandwidth to do this as well, so.
Is there a second?
Second.
It is now open for formal debate. Is there formal debate for pro or con? Seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed or any abstentions? Hearing none, it is unanimous. Lizette, do we need to put this on for resolution at the next meeting?
No, I would just start working with our recreation director and developing the ad. The resolution would be a resolution of appointment, but like I said, out for 30 days by the time somebody's interviewed, vetted and hired, it would be early January, if not mid-January.
All right then. Very good. Next item for discussion, proposed amendment to chapter 400 parking of the Borough Code. Chief Walker, I believe you're here for that. Chief, you are muted. Yes.
I'm sorry, Mary, what was the question or?
Proposed amendments to chapter 400 parking of the Borough Code.
That would be for the U-turns, right? I believe we're looking at?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, we'd like to move forward with the no U-turns on Summit Ave from Continental to Lincoln. And because of the different functions and things that happen at the school, we believe it should just be all the time in that area. It makes sense. And the signage, I talked to Sergeant Diamond about it, and it is not uncommon. You can stop it. So you would have a sign at Lincoln going northbound that says, end of no U-turn area. So that way from Lincoln to, the Oradell border, you could permit it.
Okay. Questions from the council? Lizette, this would be essentially, this is a discussion in preparation for tonight's ordinance 23-21, correct?
Yes, but we had two other items, the prohibited parking during school hours on Summit and
Right.
the stop sign on River Street at the intersection of Center.
Right. Okay, so the prohibited parking on Summit, what we ran into, because they tweaked their drop off with people coming in on Summit, which greatly increased the traffic over there. What's happening is you're getting cars that drop off, but you're getting cars that double up. And we basically have that, so it's you can't go north on Summit from Continental during that drop off time in the morning and the afternoon. But because they're basically in two lanes, we can't get onto the roadway in an emergency northbound or because it's 3 cars wide, and that's not a wide area. So what we're looking to do, we believe we have to do is in the emergency services, I believe we're all on board with this, is the east side of the block will have to be no parking for a period of time. The afternoon's probably not as bad, but it'll be no parking for that period of the drop off, which would be, it's probably 7 to 9 or something like that, a 2-hour period.
Okay.
We don't see, when we monitor that and we watched it, there's no way to get an emergency vehicle up there. And though it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes is 20 minutes. We don't see a way around that.
Any question or comment from council?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Councilman.
so the east side is the one that's closest to Kinderkamak? Is that-
Yes. The
So,
west
I
side
mean-
is prohibited all the time.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm just thinking of the residents there. I mean, how many of them, what will that mean for them? Is there room in their driveways? Is that gonna cause? Problem?
So when I look at it, yes, that is an area, a block where they do have enough space in their driveways. And generally, if we're going to do a time limit parking, often, we talked about this before, I know the mayor has, if it's gonna be for commuter issues or something, we actually can confer with the residents to say, hey, do you guys want this or you don't want it? But when it gets into an area of emergency services where we're saying, listen, we can't get a fire truck up there, we can't get an ambulance up there, then it becomes more, hey, look, we got to do this. There's no way around this. It's tough for example, I'm not worried about the driveways, so they have long driveways. Inconvenience that they can't leave their car overnight in the street. I'm sure we might hear from one or two of them, but they'll be able to park in their driveways.
Okay. And how is it communicated to them then? How would we tell them about this?
So we would let them all know. We would, it's easy enough for us to go house to house, and then, and also, we're not going to write tickets. We'll give warnings, a period of warnings. It does affect a couple things. Look, some of the teachers manage to park there also, but it's the same thing. That's a cause and effect of some of the changes.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Any of the member of council wishes to ask a question or make a comment? Okay, Chief, is there anything else?
So there's the stop sign. Remember, we had talked about the stop sign at Williams and Center, and Sergeant Diamond, who actually did the homework on pretty much everything I'm talking about tonight. So I certainly want to give him credit. And he confirmed that because it is a municipal roadway, both Center and Williams, that the council can go ahead and put a stop sign there. Once you put it through, then we need the borough engineer, or I think we're using dynamic traffic right now. Either one of them are engineers, just to sign off that they're in agreement with it. And we don't see any issues with that at all. There is a big hedge, if you noticed, and that they had to cut some of it out to put the stop sign in. So we have the code enforcer speaking with the resident there to just make sure that, the hedge is trimmed properly for view of vehicles and the stop sign itself.
Okay, so any questions from council or comment?
And that one was, remember, that's at the request of the residents down there. They were looking for that stop sign.
Yeah, no. All right, silence is consent, essentially. So Chief, anything else you want to bring up with the council at this point?
Sure. So this was brought up a couple times, and I don't know if the residents hear the Maz, but the down on Center Ave in that same area, there was a couple requesting that handicap spot there. Sergeant Diamond again did a great job. He went down there, he spoke with him, he basically surveilled it. He did have some signage changes because they felt that their line of sight was being affected. They happened to live where one of the Paper Street cut throughs, or not cut through, but is there. So we took care of that. We helped their line of sight, and they do have a driveway and they have one car. We just don't see putting a handicap parking space there. That can be a can of worms, because I'm not quite sure how you say no once you do it. And for example, if that took off with the apartments, I don't know what we would do, if we want to start putting handicap spots in streets. We have done it once before. The police department really wasn't big on agreeing with it, but it did happen. It took its course, and interestingly enough, it was a few houses down from where this house is, which I can't say for sure. Sergeant Diamond spoke with the Maz, but I would imagine that they saw it there and said, hey, why can't we have it? So I think you have to be very careful with that. And we just don't see it, if they had a situation where they couldn't park in the driveway, or we couldn't help them with the line of sight like we did, then, there might be something more there. I know they are not happy with the fact that people park in front of their house. There's a multi-dwelling across the street. I'm sure that causes for it, but it is a public roadway, and we deal with that every now and then throughout town, where people kind of might jump up and down a little bit and say, that's in front of my house, I want to, that's my spot, but in fact, it's not. It's a public roadway.
So this council has historically agreed with the police department that we should not be putting in handicap spots unless there is serious reason or warrant for it. Does this council wish to revisit that decision? Appears not, Chief.
Okay, Great. Just while I have you, I just want to give you an update. We passed a big step with our accreditation. We were evaluated for the building, and all of our SOPs and things like that were updated. Sergeant Zemeni's just couldn't have aced this better. He made it easy for us to contend with the gentleman that came in. They walk through and they look at a lot of different things, your evidence rooms, just whatever really they want to look at. And we had not one issue, which was awesome. So what'll happen now is we wait until spring. That's when they have that's when they have their interview spots where I have to go down to the office down in South Jersey. And they kind of put me through a little questioning thing about, the department, where it is, where it's going. And then, I feel confident about that. And then I'll come back to you guys, and generally what they like to do is they like to do a presentation. So I'll make you aware of that, so, you can see exactly what it entails and hear from them, and we're accredited at that point, which is awesome. Actually, I think it's a huge move for the police department and the borough to be able to have that level of, with everything that we're doing.
And Chief, a lot of that is due to your great leadership. I know the council that was part of the interview process, and you've done a great job with Officer Zemeni's on it. In fact, your entire team, the entire police force is doing a great job, which leads me to congratulate you. The annual AAA Community Traffic Safety Award Program luncheon is happening on the 30th. I will not be able to attend due to work, but I understand, Chief Walker, you'll be receiving a Safety Hero Award. So congratulations to that.
Thank you. I think Sergeant Zemeni's Sergeant Diamond is my guy there that makes that happen. And with some of the things we took on, the crosswalk enforcement on Kinnekumak was huge to them, and I don't think anybody touched us with the amount of tickets that we wrote down there, and other initiatives that we do in town. And as you know, I'm sure there's some people watching. We're always wrestling with the speeding. We're always trying to contend with different ways to address that. But overall, I think we do a pretty good job with traffic, and it is a nice award, and it's representative of the borough. So I thank you guys too for your support, especially with the accreditation. That did cost us money, as you guys know, and but in the long run, it's absolutely worth it.
So, Chief, before you go, it's not just you who's being awarded and recognized. The residents are also recognizing and offering letters of praise. You had sent them to me, and I was going to mention them, but when I realized you were here, would you like to speak about the letter of praise for Patrol Officer Matthew Petersky that you sent me on, which I failed to bring up on October 12th, the one for Officer Scott, which you sent to me on November 9th, and one you sent to me today about the Riverhead School letter. It would be great if I caught you off guard. We can bring you back.
No, I think I recall the three. I think there's three of them. So there's one for Officer Petersky, and that has to do with his the diligence and the work that he put into shoplifting at CVS, which keeps us busy down there. I tell you, I don't know, towns like Paramus and Fort Lee, the shoplifting just it's got to inundate them. I'm sure they have units just to contend with it, actually. But what we tend to find is our guys will go out of their way, and sometimes these corporations like CVS or these big corporations, they're not used to that, because in bigger towns they may not be able to do that. Where I try to make sure that the guys can go out of their way and follow through with even the court cases and things like that, to make sure that it means something to make the arrest, and make sure that the criminal world, they do communicate. Interestingly enough, I have a few stories I can go back on about that, but they will communicate, and they will say, dude, man, just don't go to that CVS in River Edge, and that's what we're looking for. I wish you never shoplifted, but do me a favor, don't shoplift here, is what we have to do sometimes. And Matt did a great job following through with, they go down there, they look at the cameras, they get the evidence, they deal with the corporate office, They get statements from the management or whoever the witnesses are, and they obviously deal with the bad guy and write the complaints up. So that was what Matt did, which is pretty neat to have corporate do that, because those guys are pretty busy.
Yeah, that was the regional manager, David LaGroth, from who signed that letter, and yeah. Chief, that's thanks to you, thanks to all the
Right.
police officers, but especially to Officer Petersky for really making River Edge proud and doing a good job. I
Thanks.
think the next one is Scott.
No, I think is that Colucci? Isn't it an aid call? I think it's Officer Colucci, right?
It is Officer Colucci. I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
So that was an aid call, and we will get these from time to time. Sometimes I just get phone calls, we have quite a few aid calls, and the officers are usually the first ones there, and they're either picking people up, or people are having heart attacks or strokes, or they're under the weather and they're not sure what's going on, and we do have the equipment we need. We have the oxygen, we have the defibrillators. And in this particular case, and it's not unusual to hear this about any of the officers, really, is the compassion, I think, that was shown by Officer Colucci, which goes a long way with anybody when they're concerned about their health. And maybe we see it and we're like, they're going to be all right, but it's when you have oxygen or you think you have a heart attack, you're just scared. So Officer Colucci he's a big guy, but he can be warm and fuzzy when he needs to, and that's what I saw when I read that. I said, Gabe stepped up to the plate and made those people feel comfortable and know that we were there to help, and the ambulance and the medics were not far behind him, who obviously deserve praise too, because those guys get out there and get that bus and get them to the hospital ASAP.
Yeah, that was Linda Scott, who was in a serious situation. Her husband, Kenneth, and Linda wrote the letter, quite beautiful letter. And again, a great job from you, Chief, and the department, and the training,
Yes.
and the community policing model, great. And now the school.
Oh, with Superintendent Danny. So that was a grant that Kathy had seen and we'd spoken about, and we worked very close with the school security. As you guys know, we have the Class 3s in place now, which is awesome, and they're working out great. They seem to be loved by everybody. So Kathy at one point needed my input, if you would, from the chief's position about for that grant, and that was a no-brainer on our part. We know how well we work together. We know what is needed or what she was working on with the doors, and we all know how much money that costs. So the ability to get that grant was awesome for Superintendent Danahy. With all the work she did, I just provided a letter, but she did a great amount of work to make that happen, and it makes our schools that much safer. That coupled with putting the Class 3s in, we just jumped. As far as I'm concerned, I said that to Superintendent Danahy. We just jumped the level of security, which is a great place to be.
Yeah, I think the grant was for $322,917 to improve school safety, school culture, school climate.
Specifically, the doors.
Yeah,
the locks and those things that needed to be addressed, which is great.
Yeah, and Chief, I'm always glad for you sending this information to me. So congratulations to all the officers who were involved with that, and yourself and the department for its great public commitment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you
Chief,
for your
anything
support.
else?
No, I think we're good at this time. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Thank you for coming, Chief.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
The next is a request from Girl Scout Troop 97900, ornamental sale at tree lighting ceremony. Lizette, I think you're speaking to that.
Sure. The Girl Scouts couldn't have a representative available this evening, but they're asking for permission to sell ornaments to support Troop 97900 at the holiday lighting ceremony. And this is a ceremony where no one is allowed to sell any items. So, but the Scouts are helping the Recreation Department with this event. So what we're looking for is confirmation for them to sell these ornaments since it's typically not allowed.
So I don't want to be the Grinch, so I'm going to call Mr. Sarlo. Mr. Sarlo, if we grant permission for this, aren't we opening the door for any group that wishes to sell at the holiday event?
No, Mayor, I mean, it's, again, case by case basis that you have to evaluate it on. The need for it, the organization and so forth like that. So, I understand the concept of the, one for all for one concept, but it's the Girl Scouts. And I think it's, again.
So that'd be great. So the
simple,
council could approve this without.
I don't think that it gives you past precedent that anybody that comes in, it's a town organization. So, I think it would add to your to the program. So
Okay.
no issues from a legal standpoint that if you come to me that another group that you're hesitant on doing, my answer would be you'd be okay saying no.
All right, excellent. So Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to address that as well. It was brought up in our last rec meeting. And the rec commission unanimously voted yes for this. And the Girl Scouts are always supportive of the tree lighting ceremony, and they come and they sing every year. And so we thought that that would be something that would be nice.
Excellent. So this really is case sensitive. This case is certainly supported by the rec commission. Our borough attorney has said that this is not going to create a precedent, and it has a lot to do with that this group is an internal group, and that the sale is connected to some degree to what we're doing. So, does the council wish to ask questions on this issue? Seeing none, would there be a member of council to move to allow ornamental sales by only Girl Scout Troop 9790 only for 2003 and only at the tree lighting ceremony?
So can I just say so moved?
Yes.
So moved.
Is there a second? And it's seconded. It is now open for formal debate. Is there formal debate? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is unanimous. Could I have a motion from Council President Kaufman and a second from Councilman Canigo? Well, hold on. Ms. Apatola. Is there any other item for discussion? There's nothing on the agenda, but just in case.
No, but I just want to make a good news announcement that through the efforts of our DPW superintendent, he was able to secure from the Department of Environmental Protection a $25,000 grant to help us meet all the brand new stormwater requirements. It's a drop in the bucket, but every dollar counts. And it was through the efforts of Mr. Melito that we were able to receive this funding.
All right, so a round of applause for Mr. Melito. Yeah, it's better that it doesn't come out of our taxpayers, our property taxpayers' pocket whenever we can. And these are requirements that we are obligated, new requirements that we are obligated to fulfill. So thank you, Mr. Melito. Jason, always doing a great job. Oh, by the way, I forgot, and my apologies. Council-elected Glass is here with us. Councilman, congratulations on the unofficial position of council-elect. We are glad to have you here. And it has always been the tradition in River Edge that when someone has become council-elect unofficially, we allow you to be part of the dais. The dais right now is the YouTube, the Zoom we are in, and you are free to ask questions or make comments as you see fit.
Thank you, Tom. Can you guys hear me? I'm having some Wi-Fi issues.
Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, really appreciate the welcome. It's great to be on board. I'm looking forward to working with everyone, and I'm ready to work. So thank you for the welcoming.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, could I have a motion from the council president and a second from Councilman Canigo to open the public on any item on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstention? Hearing none, we are now open to the public. Council President.
So we right now have one attendee. If you would like to ask a question or make a comment, please raise your hand and I'll allow you to speak. Does not look like it.
Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed, any abstention? Okay, it's unanimous. Appointments and personnel change. Could I have a motion when I finish from Councilwoman Malari and a second from Councilman Benson? Appointments and personnel changes. Approve the salary increase of Matthew Farley, Department of Public Works, from laborer step 1, salary of $46,350 to laborer step 2, $49,153, due to satisfactory completion of the CDL licensing requirement, retroactive to January 2nd, 2023. Approve the retirement, sadly, of Judy O'Connell, Deputy Borough Clerk, effective December 31st, 2023. Approve the appointment of Aditi Puri to the Environmental Protection Commission as alternate 2 through December 31st, 2024, effective November 13th, 2023. And finally, approve the salary increase of Ann Dodd, Borough Clerk, Assistant Administrator, from an annual salary of $93,000 plus $7,500 stipend to $96,000 plus $7,500 stipend per the employment contract and resolution 22-359, effective November 29, 2023.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, I just want to go back for a second to first Matthew. Getting the CDL license is not an easy task as it used to be. Lizette, correct me. I think it takes 6 months now to get the commercial driver's license that they would need.
Yes, it takes, it requires a lot of training, knowing everything about the vehicle also, and just scheduling an appointment with the Motor Vehicle Commission. And if, somebody doesn't pass, it takes a while to get that second appointment. It's not like you could come next week or in 2 weeks. So it's very, it's difficult and very time consuming.
Yeah. I would even say it's laborious, but dad joke time. Okay. Judy, what can we say about Judy? How many years has Judy been? 30 years?
I believe 25 years with the borough.
25 years. Incredible commitment to work ethic, outstanding in her interactions with the council, never ever wavers from saying yes whenever she can to the public, and always there for the elected and for the other members of our staff. Judy's absence will be very sorely missed. I wanted to say that before we moved on. I don't know if any other member of council would like to chime in or just say ditto, but we are grateful for 25 years of service by Judy O'Connell and everything she's done.
Yeah, I just want to echo that. From the time I started on this council, she was tremendous in helping with everything. Any question I've ever had, she's answered. She is sweet, she is wonderful, and she'll be missed.
Ditto.
I echo that too, Mr. Mayor, and I wish her happy retirement. We're gonna miss her.
Yes, agreed. We're definitely gonna miss her.
Happy retirement to Judy.
Happy retirement.
Lizette or Ann, it's not normal that we do this, but we're in Zoom. And I think it's appropriate for Judy, as Mr. Sarlo said, it depends on the situation. And Judy certainly is a situation of high praise. Is there anything the two of you would like to say? You don't have to, because, you know, but if you did, you could say that at this time.
Judy is, she's such a breath of fresh air. You always had great laughs, no matter how crazy we were with an agenda, with an election, with an Oprah. You know, she always brings such positivity into everything, and I will definitely miss her laugh.
Yeah.
I just want to say what a valuable asset Judy is to the borough, and she will be greatly missed. I just wish I had more time to work with her. And I wish her well in her retirement.
So we wish her well. We will miss her, and her absence will not go unnoticed. All right. Good. And thank you to DT for joining Environmental Protection. And Ann, you're always doing a great job, and we appreciate everything you do. We have several reports, monthly reports from the Fire Department, Land Use Board, Historic Commission, Tax Collectors, and Library Board. And if any member of public would like to see those reports, they just need to contact the clerk's office. We have a capital budget amendment that we're looking at now. Michelle and Lizette, how do we want to move forward with this? Just make a motion, or how do we want to do with this?
Yes, this just requires a motion second and roll call, since it is financially related. And the reason why we need to amend our capital budget, if you see later in the agenda, in the consent agenda, we are accepting a grant agreement for the Community Development Block Grant Program for 2023. And what had happened is the time frames have changed. Normally, we would be able to include this in next year's budget, but what has happened this year is the deadline to complete grant projects was moved from December to June. That happened to us this year, even though we received the grant agreement in May, and municipalities were given an extension to the first week of December. But now the new deadline is completing grant projects by June, and following the regular budgetary process, we wouldn't have funds available until the end of May. And there's no way in a month we could prepare bid specs, go out to bid, complete a project, close it out, and submit for a reimbursement. And this, the funding, the capital project, the majority of it is being reimbursed. The CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, reimburses 100% of the construction cost. So the borough would only be responsible for the soft cost of engineering and traffic duty.
Excellent. All right. So, Council President Kaufman, you are also our finance chair. Would you please move?
Sure. Second.
How about this? I'll move it, and could I have a motion for a resolution 23-296 capital budget amendment?
So moved.
And could I have another member of the finance committee second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All in, we need to do a roll call. First of all, debate. Is there debate? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Kanigo,
Derry, you're muted.
Apologies, yes.
Council President Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malolari,
Yes.
Councilman Benson.
Yes.
Okay, so that's unanimous. And we would now go to agenda item number 11, first reading of ordinances. Could I have a motion from Councilwoman Malari and second from Councilwoman Kinsella after I finish reading into the record? A motion that the following ordinances be introduced and passed on the first reading and setting November 27th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard, as the date and time and the Zoom as the virtual platform for the hearing of said ordinance. Ordinance 23-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, Chapter 400, Vehicles and Traffic. Ordinance 23-22, bond ordinance to authorize the replacement of sidewalks, including construction of ADA ramps at Rutgers Place, Phase 2, in, by, and for the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $185,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to appropriate a federal grant, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriations, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of issuance of such bonds. And finally, ordinance 23-23, an ordinance to amend chapter 206 of the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge entitled Fees.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is now open for debate. Prior to debate, Business Administrator Apatola, if you could, for the public's benefit, do a quick synopsis of 23, 21, 22, and 23.
Absolutely. 2321 amends the code, the portion of vehicles and traffic to update the U-turns provision. It clarifies the limits of the existing U-turns and it adds about 6 or 7 more areas where U-turns are prohibited. 23-22 is to finance that CDBG project that I had mentioned with the capital budget amendment of the 185,000. Almost 125 is what falls under the grant reimbursement, and the balance is the soft costs that the borough is responsible for. And 2323 is to amend the fee schedule with respect to the recreation department, and it's to add a fee for the new running club starting next year.
All right. Is there debate, dialogue, inquiry? Seeing none, since this is a first reading, I think we can do it by acclamation. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Hearing none, it is so passed. Now, the second reading and hearing of ordinances needs to be done separately because of the way I think they were first published. So we're going to do that. We have to open to the public, then close to the public, and then we have to move to adopt if the council chooses to do so. So the following ordinance published here within was first read by title only on October 12th, 2023, posted on a bulletin board outside the borough clerk's office. Ordinance 23-18, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, Chapter 400, Vehicles and Traffic. Could I have a motion from Council President Kaufman and a second from Councilman Benson?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
You're now open to the public. Council President.
So if you have a question, just raise your hand or comment and I'll allow you to speak. Does not look like it.
Why don't we just flip it? Councilman Benson, could I have a motion from you and second from Council President Kaufman to close to the public?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Could I have a motion from Councilman Kenigo and a second from Councilwoman Monsanto Clowen to adopt ordinance 23-18?
So moved.
Second.
Hold on. It has been moved and seconded to adoption. According to Robert's rules, we have to open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Kenigo? Council President Kaufman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malalari,
Yes.
Councilman Benson.
Yes.
Okay, could I have, when I finish reading it, or a motion from Councilwoman Malari and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella? The following ordinance published here within was first read by title only on October 23rd, 2023, posted on the bulletin board outside the clerk's office. Ordinance 23-20, an ordinance amending and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Borough of Riverhead, Chapter 192, drug-free zones.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Miss Apratella, I think I failed to come to you for ordinance 2018, and now I need to come to you for both 2018 and 2318 and 2320, just to give a short synopsis for the public's benefit.
Yes, and 2318 was to codify that no parking will be permitted on Third Avenue as recommended by our police department, specifically our traffic bureau. And 2320 is to create the area for crossing guards at Bogart Road and Reservoir Avenue, as well as Summit Avenue and Webb Avenue. And this was also recommended by our police department based on pedestrian activity.
Council President Kaufman.
I'm sorry, did I?
Is there anyone who wishes to,
Oh.
you're open to the public?
Yeah, if you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll allow you to speak. Does not look like it.
Very good. Could I have a motion from the same two members of council to close to the public?
So moved.
I forgot who I asked. It was you, Indira, and who else?
Second, I'll just second it. It's
All
fine.
right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Could I have a motion from, let's see, Councilwoman Mallory and second from Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen to approve the ordinance 23-20?
So
Second.
This is open for debate. Is there debate? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Kanigo,
Yes.
Council President Kaufman,
Yes,
Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Malalari,
yes.
Councilman Benson.
Yes.
Okay, we're about to move the resolutions by consent. There has been a renumbering. The published agenda 23-310 was payment of the bills. It will now be 23-311. And we are inserting resolution 23-310. Lizette, what's the formal name for 23-310?
It is to approve the designation of QR codes on street signs by the Historic Preservation Commission.
Okay, great. Could I have, who have I not called on? Councilman Benson move and Councilwoman Kinsella second, resolutions 23-297 through 23-310 renumbered.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any debate or request to pull one out for a separate? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, the payment of bills is now 23-311. Council President Kaufman, Finance Chair, would you please move that ordinance?
at a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on November 13, 2023. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund, $8,770,508.56. Capital fund, $176,874.32. Grant fund, $6,709.65. Animal Control Fund, $3.60. Trust Other Fund, $3,250. Payroll Fund, $60.95. Unemployment Trust Fund, $2,998.91. Developers Escrow Fund, $3,731.75. Recreation Trust Fund, $856.91. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstention? Hearing none, it is unanimous. New business. Is there any new business? Old business. Is there any old business? Ms. Apatella, if you could do an update of where we are with constructions and other issues.
I only have 2 items, construction updates with Voorhees. The contractor is finishing all the concrete work and restoration this week. All the piping and detention chambers are in the ground and are operational. Final inspection will take place in 2 weeks. And with the KBG Swim Club parking lot, paving started today and will continue tomorrow. Striping is expected to be completed by Wednesday, and final inspection in that project will also take place within 2 weeks.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks to Jason, thanks to you, Ms. Apatella, thanks to Costa Engineering, thanks to everyone who has been working long and hard to get these projects done. We really appreciate it. Is there anyone we need to shout out, Lizette?
No, everybody, it's a team effort between our DPW superintendent and our engineering project manager. They get the work done. They're there on site to make any changes as necessary to just keep the project moving along and within budget as much as possible.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, public comments. Could I have a motion from any member of council to open to the public in a second?
Mr. Mayor, before we do, can I ask a question to Lisette about a construction
Absolutely.
project?
Sure.
Lisette, could you update us and the public about the repaving of the parking lot in the train station? Is
Yes,
that still on target?
Yes, that is still on target. It was paved this morning, is expected to be striped tomorrow. And that parking lot had to be repaved again because the asphalt wasn't binding in most of the area. And, since it was a product defect, the borough is not paying a dime for this repaving. This falls under the responsibility of the contractor. He has to work it out with the supplier, but there's no additional cost to the borough. And it was done within the past few days, and the fact that it has this extra layer of asphalt, it will actually be a stronger parking lot, especially since it leads into the DPW's compost site.
Councilwoman Manzano Carlin, thank you so very much for making sure that we say that in a public session. You're quite right to bring that up. Anything else? All right, can I have a motion and second to open to the public on any issue?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 So if you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll allow you to speak or comment. Does not look like it.
Could I have a motion and second from any member of council to close to the public?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Council comments. Any member of council, please raise your hand if you'd like. Councilman Kanigo.
I just want to congratulate you, Mayor Indira and Dave on your victory. Dave, welcome to the council. I won't be on it. You're taking my place, and good luck to you going forward. But congratulations to you all. You all ran a honest, fair, forthright campaign, and you should all be proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dario.
Thanks, Dario. I might be seeking guidance from you occasionally. Hopefully you'll be available.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Any other member of council with a comment? Okay, we are done for the evening. Good work, everyone. Could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting?
So
So
moved.
move. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, everyone. Have a
Good
good night.
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 And thank you.
Good-